A lot of you koi keepers feel the same as me, but this summer seems to be absolutely flying by. Koi have absolutely been loving it, but you can certainly see I do need to clean my pond windows off today. The old herring's doing all right as well still. They've been feeding like crazy. Not really a plant expert, but I have noticed on this one, all of the equipment, I haven't done a bit of an update on the drum filter. I've got enough to deal with myself as it is. Absolutely well made up with it. All of the new shoots have come out, fantastic. And the other plant is the basil. You can see all the lotus root bacteria house down there, but I'm getting shoots growing up everywhere. The top of the tray in this shower filter. Start then for a bit of sinking and a bit of floating. Of Siemens, it's a 3 kilo bag of fish food. Actually works out all right. I'm gonna do an overall update pretty much. Pretty much an update of all the ponds, all the tanks that we've got. Let's just crack on with this video. Bosh. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. James the Koi Whisperer. So today, coming up on this video, I'm going to do an overall update pretty much an update of all the ponds, all the tanks that we've got, and give you all a bit of a rundown. So stick around for this video. If you can remember to like the video for me, subscribe if you're new to the channel. That being said, let's just crack on with this video. Right, to start things off, I want to give everyone a bit of an update on the new mountain tree pond that I'm using. Absolutely well made up with it. There is a few things that I've learned by different styles and different kinds of plants that work better in this system. I've noticed all of the peace lilies that I've got, they're all doing absolutely fantastic. And to be honest with you, all of this top run is bedding in and growing lovely. Absolutely well made up with it. For the people that don't know how this system works before I start talking about the plants, so this is an all-in-one system. When I first had it turn up, I only had one little problem, and that was the speed of the pump. So the speed or the flow of the pump, because it has two pumps in this system. One pump runs up behind the back, you can see it up through here, and it feeds a shower bar or a shower tray all the way along the top of the system, which then trickles down through the system in each sort of plant base, and you can see the water hitting each of the top of the plants as it falls down through the system. Some plants take better than others, so even though this one is growing fantastically, you can see all the new shoots. It's actually a little bit too big. It's growing out of the system a little bit too far. If I give you a bit of a side angle, you can see how far out of the system that it's actually growing. A lot of the plants in this system is actually growing and then they're turning upwards. Two plants that I'm most impressed with is the mint. You can see it's only one pot, but it's actually took space of about 4 or 5 spaces up so far. It's grown fantastically. And the other plant is the basil. You can see the colour of the green roots absolutely blossoming. The rosemary's doing fantastic, but you can see how these plants are growing out and then they're turning up now. You can see the angle of all of them turning up. So it's certainly interesting. One plant that didn't do very well at all is just down here, which is the coriander. The new shoots coming up through it, these seem to be looking a lot healthier and better than the original shoots, so I might trim these off and just leave this and see if this develops a lot better. Certainly looks like it is. All of the mint is only growing out of this one segment, but the two little goldfish we got in here, they're doing amazing. One thing that I did with the pump to slow the speed of the pump down, we'll put a little bit of back pressure on the pump itself, but I just put a tiny little stone into it here, and it certainly has slowed the flow down. Still more than enough flow movement in around the system itself, but one thing I found without running that pump, it was just cycling the water, which is down behind the back of the filtration system, which is underneath here. Have a look down into this chamber, but you can see all the lotus root bacteria house down there. And you can see how the water returns up from the shower back down onto the media itself. So the dwell time in the back of the filtration is amazing. And you can see the access to the pump and the filtration down that side for the UV. Currently I'm not using the UV in this system. The water is absolutely crystal clear, and I think now it's ready to add a few more goldfish. You can see there's a little bit of detritus built up on the rock that I put in, just a little bit of cover for the goldfish if they want a bit of chill out time. So yeah, if anyone does want to check out this system from Mountain Tree, I'll leave the links for SKS, which you can have a look at that for the prices, and if you're interested in getting one yourself, I'll leave the links down in the comment section and in the description of the video. But that's enough yibbity yabbity about that, enough update. We have got to add a few more fish and add a few more plants to it, recognising the plants that do grow and what don't grow. It's all a learning curve for me because it's new to me, and yeah, you live and you learn. So that being said, let's move on to the next update, probably over there. So yeah, little bit of an update on my boys' pond, and I'm not going to lie to you, we have got a lot of protein build up in this pond at the moment, currently down to a few reasons, I think. As I was saying, this is my boys' pond. It was a little bit of a project that we built together. We had a fantastic time doing it, but I think the normal jobs of any sort of teenager, weekly maintenance, after it's all done and you know you've got it set up and the fish have been bought and there's nothing else new, a lot of kids get bored or they lose interest. So a little bit of neglect. I'm actually going to be doing a water change on it myself today, but it does need a bit of maintenance to keep up the quality of the filter itself, and any pond will start going downhill if the filters are not being cleaned and if the water changes haven't been done. I've noticed over the past sort of month I've been doing it a lot more myself. I know it is that time of year. He's well into his fishing at the moment. And talking to me son, there he is, look. What are you doing?
Getting ready to go fishing.
You going fishing again?
Yeah.
He loves it, look. He's doing an overnighter tonight. He's got his bivvy all set up, ready to rock and roll, just waiting for mum to take you, ain't you?
Pretty much, just need to get my bed and I'm sorted.
Happy days. You need to do this fish tank, your pond, else we're going to have to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. It's just a bit of lost interest in it.
I did tell him if he don't want to keep it, if he don't want to keep the pond, then I'll actually move it on because I've got enough to deal with myself as it is. Even though I do love it, but it's one of them things really. The DIY backy shower that we built, it does work absolutely amazing. If anyone does want to build this, flip back on my channel, you'll be able to find it. DIY, very cheap and easy to do, and it works amazingly. You can see at the very top, you do have to replace the 3D filter pad from Mountain Tree or the filter floss from Mountain Tree. It catches absolutely loads of the waste of the fish, all of the algae, all of the fish poo, before it actually adds into the rest of the actual biological filtration, which underneath these systems, we've got all of the Mountain Tree media, the lotus root bacteria house. The only downside, what I was saying about the protein build up on the top of the water at the moment, we have changed foods and we're feeding the FD food in here at the moment, and it is a higher protein based food, but the water clarity and the water quality is two different things. So the quality of the water is completely fine, but the clarity of the water, just because it hasn't had a water change, you can certainly see the build-up of the protein on the top, and you can certainly see that hasn't been done, which needs to be done every 2 or 3 days really. So I'll get all that done today. So that's all the updates, apart from the big fish tank that I've got, or the indoor ponds, all done. So I thought it's an absolute fantastic day today. I'm coming out in the garden. You do have to forgive me on the updates on cleaning the pond windows, not just on that pond or on this pond. I thought I'll give a realistic update of how things are now before I fill up my fish feeders, and I just wanted to give you all a bit of a rundown on how things are going. So I'm spinning the camera around and let's just crack on. So I don't know a lot of you koi keepers feel the same as me, but this summer seems to be absolutely flying by, and in the UK we certainly cannot complain with the weather that we've had, the temperatures that we've had in the ponds, just because of obviously the sunlight. The koi have absolutely been loving it. They've been feeding like crazy, and to be honest with you, it's my favourite time of the year. Soon as you get to sort of August, it's the best time of year for me. I know I like to hammer in the food this time of year. While the temperature in the ponds are up, the fish can handle it, and they certainly love it. But you can certainly see I do need to clean my pond windows off today. It's not major bad, but where the sunlight hits it, it certainly needs to be done. And these guys in the grow on tank are doing fantastic. The acers in the garden, they're looking absolutely amazing. I'm not really a plant expert, but I have noticed on this one, it's a bit strange. Round the back of it, it's green, and where the sunlight hits it, it's got that reddy greeny colour to it, which does look pretty cool, I think, in my opinion. This one up here always does struggle a little bit, just because of the pot's a little bit smaller, I think. It don't hold as much water, so when we are out and we're away for a couple of days and the kids forget to put the water in the pot for me, because I do it every other day, sometimes you can see the plants just droop over a little bit. But I'll chuck some water in here this morning and sort that out. I can hear the drum filter going off. All of the equipment, I haven't done a bit of an update on the equipment of the filtration of this system for a while, and I am actually planning to go up and visit Burton's in the next couple of weeks. They've changed facilities, and I wanted to give everyone a bit of a video of how they make their drum filters and run you down through from start to finish, basically of the reasons why I use the Burton's equipment and how they're made as well, really. So that'll be an interesting video coming up. But I've just stopped the drum filter running for a second. But all of the media in here, all of the Mountain Tree media, the only thing I do find, sometimes the bars, because I put them in DIY, they do slip down a little bit, but the media is still all in place and it works absolutely fantastic. The drum filter, look how clean that is. I haven't done no maintenance to that screen whatsoever, apart from the UV bulb running up through the centre of it. The only thing I do find in this system, pretty much just washing out the waste tray, but you can certainly see the build up, sorry about the glare, but the build up of waste that hits the back of the tray. So every now and then I just clean that off. So I'll do that today as well, sort out my bars and yeah, go from there. But I am thinking about probably making these bars a little bit more fixtured in place. Now I know how happy I am with the media inside of here from Mountain Tree, how well it works to keep the pond crystal clear. I'm super happy with it. And you can certainly see with the shower filter, let's go over there and have a look. You do have to excuse the cobwebs because I haven't got rid of them. I haven't planted none of these weeds or whatever they are in here, but I'm getting shoots growing up everywhere. The top of the tray in this shower filter is just gone absolutely mental, and you can see, or you should be able to see, there is an actual lid on this shower filter. Don't know if you can pick that up on camera or not, but I don't know how this plant or root or whatever weed that it is got in there, but it's grown fantastic, to be honest. It looks pretty neat. I've also got something else growing out of that system there, which is all live and natural. I do like the look of these sort of things when it all starts becoming natural. But there is a little bit more protein build up in this pond than normal as well, and that's down to the FD food again. It's all trying new things. And talking of feed, it looks like I have to replace the fish food in here because it looks like they're pretty much empty, just a tiny little bit left. This feeder is going off 7 times a day at the moment now. Like I was saying, this time of year I do certainly like to bang in the food and get them, you know, as much food into them as possible before the temperatures start changing, and then you have to start feeding a lower protein based food. But the old heron's doing all right as well still. He's still living a dream and keeping an eye on the koi for me. Going on to the main pond, or moving on to the main pond. As always, the pond window needs a bit of a clean. Don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can see the algae growing on it. And that's just down to the sunlight. At the moment, we've had absolute fantastic weather, and the sunlight is just one of them jobs. I'll get me stick out later on, give it a bit of a clean up, clean the back of the shower trays. Just maintenance I like doing. Check the fish feeder. Yeah, I certainly need to top up this fish feeder. You can see the FD foods. I've got a bit of a mix in here at the moment on these. So there's a bit of a mix. So there's sinking sake akari, growth, and then you've got, it looks like a little bit of the NT Labs prebiotic left over in there. And then this pellet here is the FD food. This one here, right near my thumb, that's the FD food. So it's a bit of a mix. The only thing I do notice, there's a little bit of oil content that comes off of the FD food, and I think that's just down to the higher protein in it. But the fish absolutely love it, and I'll try to show you the oil content off of it if it comes up on camera. But it don't really come up on camera, but you can see a little bit of the oil content coming off of the pellet itself. Not that it stays in the water column itself. The water stays clear, but as soon as you release the pellet, you can certainly see a little bit of the oils come off. But it means there's good ingredients in the pellet. The fish love it. And I started to feed a bit of a mixture for the pure fact, didn't want all the fish crashing up against themselves, especially this time of year with a lot of food going into the water. Having it a bit of sinking and a bit of floating, you'll notice at the moment some fish go down to the bottom to feed, some feed on top, and when this fish feeder actually goes off, the way that this feed scatters the pellet, I'll just show you how it comes out. It scatters the pellet quite a fair distance, so you can see you get a bit of a variation of the way that the pellet comes down and feeds. Well impressed with this fish feeder. For the average use and overall cost, they can still retail roughly around the £300 mark, but I think it's probably one of the best fish feeders out there on the market for value for money. The RS feeder over there, well impressed with it, apart from a few little add-ons that we've had to do and development over the time. Just because of the way that the pellet comes out, it all drops down, and I'll show you in this pond real quick if there's anything left, because I know I need to feed it up today, so, or fill it up today. But this little add-on, it sort of spits the pellet out slightly different, but it certainly needs to be filled up today, and all of these fish go nuts. I'm going to fill that up today, and one thing I am planning to do is higher up the bottom of the shower tray, because the way that this food comes out in this pond, first thing in the morning with their first feed overnight, they all go straight to this corner, and I have noticed one of the fish has knocked itself. I will get that on camera, and it is a little bit of a shame, to be honest with you, because the fish that has knocked itself, it is the tancho there with the perfect spot. The body of the fish is growing amazingly, but you can see on the top of its head it's knocked a bit of the benny. It may come back, but I very much doubt it. You can see where it's just caught itself on the spot itself. The camera might not be doing it justice, but basically what it is, the bottom of the shower tray here, when the food comes out and it sort of back washes back into this corner, they all go nuts in the morning and just knocked itself on the bottom of that shower tray. That's the only place where I think that it's done it, so I'm just going to hire that shower tray up just to stop that happening. Half of it is my own fault. I know the RS feeders, they are very good, they're very good quality, they are expensive, but the bars that come with them, you can get longer add-on bars, so it's all additional extras to the feeders, but you could get a longer one to allow the feeder to stick out further in the pond. But the little add-on bit certainly does help the food come out in a better way instead of just dropping straight down. So that being said, and my mate did actually make Mrs. Whisperer a little sign, because she said I put James the Koi Whisperer on that one, and she said it's her pond, so she wants me to stick that on the pond somewhere. For now it's just there. I'm actually going to jump in the filter house quick and yeah, fill up the fish feeders, make sure that that's all filled right up, because like I said, the next couple of weeks I am here, there, everywhere, planning to nip up to perfect the quacks as well and have a little bit of a nip round their facilities. But I loves me filter house, so let me grab this fish food out and top up my fish feeders. So when I was at the koi show, I did actually get donated 3 bags of this stuff. I've used 1 bag already. I am impressed with it. I've still got to use that. I've been adding me bicarbonate soda in. I've still been buying these little pots, because I put one old pot in a day, get it from down Aldi, and it's like 49p a pot. So every other day I'm using one of them. It is cheaper if you buy it in a bigger form. But yeah, I'm going to top up all my feeders today, chuck some of the FD food in, and yeah, happy days. It is quite odd when you start reviewing food. It's always very difficult to give an honest opinion on new fish food that you try out or test, because testing, say, 1 bag isn't really enough to give a review on the product itself. Fair enough, in my opinion, this is fair enough that you can test the bag and see what it does to your water quality with 1 bag, but you can't really see any benefits to the fish with 1 bag. Even with 3 bags, you need to be using a fish food for at least a whole season, I believe, in my opinion, to give a fish food an honest review. And that's not me asking these companies to provide me with fish food for a whole year. I've always ever used the NT Labs prebiotic and probiotic. It's a fish food that I know that I can specifically say that is a good quality fish food for your pond, for your fish health, for the overall general growth and development of your koi. any other new fish foods that you get. I get offered it all of the time by different companies. James, do you want to test a bag of food? Do you want to test this, test that? And sometimes, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, one bag of fish food is definitely not enough for me to give a review on it. So at the moment, until this food's done, I still can't give a complete review on this product. At the moment, I think that it's doing all right. I think the fish are liking it. But to be honest with you, if I went and opened up a bag of Cheerios and chucked them in the pond, the fish wouldn't complain about them either. But that being said, let's fill up these fish feeders. That's a lot to talk about fish food. And one thing's for sure, with these smaller 3 kilo bags, it is certainly easier to fill up your fish feeders. So I'm just going to top all of this up now, get it put in one-handed. And the JBL fish feeder actually holds 10 kilos of food. So when you put 3 kilos in there, it don't really touch the sides. But I'm going to give a little bit of a mix to this one, and just doing a bit of a mixed food at the moment because I've got a bag of sake open. So I'm going to grab that and add some of that into here as well, mix it all up so these get a bit of sinking and a bit of floating. I actually bought a sack of the sinking, very, very expensive fish food, but the fish do like it. So at the moment I'm just giving a bit of a mix up with this stuff, and while it's that time of year, the feeder's going to be on heavy, and these guys are going to get fed quite heavily over the next 2 months. I always think August and October, rightly or wrongly, is the time of year to feed your fish. Like when I say feed them, heavily feed them. Mix it up inside of the bucket to give it a bit of a mix, and you can see both pellets will get mixed together then. And then the fish have got a nice balanced diet then for a bit of sinking and a bit of floating of the growth pellet for the next couple of months really. This ain't going to last a couple of months, but the fish will be feeding for the next couple of months. And seeing as it's a 3 kilo bag of fish food, these guys are purely going to be having just the FD foods. It's a little bit more tricky for me to fill up, so I'll put the camera down until I fill up the fish feeder, because in all honesty, I don't want to be wasting this all over the place, and I've got to get it into the top of that chute, and I don't want to get my tripod out just to show you me filling up a fish feeder. So I'm going to get that done now. Actually works out alright. Just put the whole bag into the top and let it trickle in. You can see it filling up. Hopefully it will take the whole 3 kilos. Happy days. That seems to work. Job's a good one. Bosh. Get yourself on the FD food. So yeah, that's all the fish feeders filled right up to the maximum capacity. And yeah, I'm going to see how I get on with this for the next couple of weeks. And if I like it, I'm going to go and buy a couple of bags myself. So that being said, it's that time of year, innit, where you've got to feed your fish. And yeah, I think, to be honest with you, we're coming to the end of the video. So if I don't see you in a week, I'll see you for a window. We got some good little trips coming up soon, so stick around. Keep an eye on the content about to be put out, and yeah, happy days. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you can. If I don't see you in a week, I'll see you for a window. Koi Whisperer, over and out. Bosh.